Democracy, as we know it, is government of the people, for the people, by the people. And part of the most important component of democracy is the legislature. I mean, in military term, we have the head of government, either governor, president, or chairman. We have the executive appointed person. What we don't have is legislature. And the uniqueness of legislature is that feedback mechanism to the electorate or to the constituent. So what the essence of this is to give feedback to the people that elected me, that sent me to represent them, to tell them what is happening within the areas where they sent me to tell them what I'll be able to do, what I am doing, and what the plan is, and to seek their input as far as what I've done and what I will do. So in which case it is I'm representing them, I'm not representing myself. As such, this is a very critical and important part of democracy.
Sir, the allocation of 37 billion naira for the renovation of the National Assembly complex has attracted criticism from Nigerians, and coincidentally, you also spoke about it in this gathering. Can you maybe use this medium to also make certain clarifications on that?
As I explained, the budget for renovation of National Assembly is not in National Assembly. The property, that's National Assembly, is an asset of federal government under the Federal Capital Territory or Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA. The budget, as was presented to National Assembly through the FCT budget, was based on bill of quantity that was estimated by the relevant technical people in that agency. Yes, and the budget was scrutinized by the relevant committee of National Assembly, which in turn presented its findings for approval by the whole National Assembly. And it was approved. And as I said in my comment, as a new member, when I entered that place premises, if you look up into the chamber, our Olo chamber, you will see that it is already cracking. And not only that, there is leakage. Sometimes when we are sitting, we do have failure of air conditions, we have failure of public address system and so on. And we were told when we asked during one of our executive session that since the construction of that building, before the commencement of this, not Net Assembly, more than 20 years ago, there has not been any major repair on renovation. Besides, it's a trunky contract. It's not given to small or petty contractors. So that's what is there. Of course, without, as I said, people do misunderstand the National Assembly because of what I have said. For many years as a country, we have been in under military dictatorship. And as such, the importance and significance of legislature is not known. For example, is there any arm of executive that the electorate can hold accountable like what we have today? Because a commissioner, for example, at the state level, is an appointee. Is only as answerable to his appointer, who is the governor. But I'm responsible, just like all my other colleagues, to the people. And as such, that arm of the people should be taken care of to make them to be able to take their responsibility. Nobody will criticize if, for example, 500 million is allocated to renovate or build a villa or to be able to build a government house. There are government houses in this country that are more costly than that. So it's not as if National Assembly is insensitive to their constituents. No, we are very much concerned about what are the dividends that will improve the life and progress and security of our people, and we take care of that.
Okay, distinguished, you are the chairman state committee on the primary health. You have also been involved in Banquet consultant on health. By training, you are a medical doctor, so you understand what health is. You just said this morning it was reported that the president said medical tourism is becoming a particular service in Nigeria. Now we have a new budget cycle from January to December. What should Nigerians expect in the areas of health? And what is your impression about this issue of medical tourism?
Thank you very much. I'm chairman health committee, not primary health care, but I'm a member of primary health care. The issue you mentioned was a major issue we considered during this 2020 budget. As the chairman of the health committee and as a medical practitioner, as you said, we did discuss extensively how we can reduce to the barest minimum. We engaged stakeholders, including the Federal Ministry of Health, including the head of all the federal tertiary hospitals. We have about 54 tertiary hospitals and we have 6 specialized hospitals. And one of the things we look at, of course, there are many reasons why people go abroad to treat. There are those that we cannot prevent. That is those that have their resources, and just because of they are not going because of lack of manpower or services here. They are going because they just believe they want the best hotel. What I mean by hotel is that when you go to hospital, it's not only about the actual treatment, because there are some people when they go abroad, it's Nigerians that treat them. So what are we doing? What we want to do is to identify minimum of at least one center per geopolitical zone that will be designated center of excellence to treat what makes Nigeria to go out. Part of the main issue is about the availability of certain specialized equipment, and we have used this 2020 budget to create a cancer fund. We have also looked at the budget of various teaching hospitals, and we identified some hospitals where we have allocated resources to make them to do better. National Hospital is one of such. If you look at 2020 budget, it didn't come from the executive. It was our initiative to put certain resources in National Hospital for certain area of cancer treatment. We look at University of Benin Teaching Hospital. It has a center for bone marrow transplantation, which has been abandoned for many years. We put resources for this. There's an accident and emergency in University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in Gwagwalada, which the previous government has done concession. We said they should recover it, and we put resources for this to be able to address that. Now we look at several of the other hospitals. We do identify that we do have some manpower that are not even known. Some people go out of this country due to ignorance of the availability of manpower and resource and equipment to manage that. So we agreed to be able to establish what we call a database that will be linked to all hospitals, and then there will be also a media broadcast to enable Nigerians to be aware what are available. So we are really working hard to do that. The second one, or the other major one, is the issue of Nigerian doctors or health professionals going abroad. We are able to address this through provision of fund for what we call residency training program, and what we are also discussing with the Ministry of Health on how we create certain special incentives that will enable Nigerian professionals to stay in Nigeria.
Sir, two questions, sir. First, how soon are we expecting this kind of engagement? Yeah, this kind of engagement, this town meeting. Secondly, what to do this opportunity to clear the air about the last empowerment that was done by your wife? There have been issues about social media. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, this particular large one will likely be an annual event, because as you say no, I liken it to a corporate organization. You do what we call annual general meeting to be able to brief the stakeholders and stakeholders to engage. But there could be special meeting even between the year, depending on development. But definitely as a calendar, it must happen every year. Why it must be every year is that we have a budget cycle of yearly in Nigeria. We've just finished one. That's why I'm able to say what I want to do. We look at how do we implement those ones. At the end of the year, we'll come back to say, this is what we are able to implement. This is what we have not been able to do. These are the things. But that does not preclude. Every quarter, there's a party structure and party system. I'll have to meet with the party, which is the platform I use, to brief them and to get their inputs. Now on the empowerment, it's mischievous. What we did, what has always been happening before, is for women to go to politicians' house to say, oh, give me money and so on, what they call fine bara. But we identified that with small resources, people can be empowered. And what we mean by small resources is that there are women who are not aware that they could use small resources to produce what we call daily needs thing. And we're able to identify one of our supporters, who's a woman, who came to us to say they are cooperative, who are trainers of women, and they are doing this on their own. They don't require much resources. So what we plan is to have every quarter minimally to train about 30 women in various skills and empower those women to become business owners themselves. They were able to train them on 11 different types of products, which are daily use, including Vaselines, rub, soaps, various types of soaps, Izal, insecticides. And I think they brought some of the products, which you can see yourself. What people don't understand, what we did, just like what Ensu said, is not to give money completely to them to go and buy this material, because some people will not use that. They have been trained, yes. We paid for the training through my wife's NGO, which is known as Bata Foundation. We paid the trainers to train them. We were able to give them other things to do the training. We buy material for the training. We gave them transport to come from their house. The training was for 3 weeks. But at the end of it, what are the items that they are required to do this job? Then for those ones that will go to those 30 women, we bought those basic tools The tools are basic things, household things, like plastics, like stir, like other things, buckets and so on. Now, the chemicals that they will need, what the woman told us is that because there are 11 different products they were trained on, the trainers can choose which of these products they want to be producing. As such, we cannot buy chemical for them. Each individual will have to decide what chemicals. So we now convert the money for chemicals into cash. So in addition to what they said, they were given envelopes of cash for them to go and choose what they want to do. So some people may say just it's only Vaseline and rubber I want to do. Some will say, oh, my own is soap. So the chemical to produce Vaseline is from soap. So we gave money. But the mischievous people did not record it like that. They didn't look at the fact that these women are trained, and we are able to show it here. I asked them, we bought from them. I paid money through my wife to say they should buy two of the products, Vaseline and rub, and distribute here, so that people will see the sample of what they have produced. That's because we are patronizing them. I must tell you, the Vaseline I use in my house and the rub were the product of those women. So that means they are only not empowered, they are producing things, and we are creating small enterprise. And those women will now not go or come to me or come to my wife, oh, Aja, give us money. They are able to feed themselves and feed their family.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.